Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I've got a little bit of a different one for you. So you probably already know that I recently got engaged. It's my ring. Crazy. And yeah, so I thought I would start to film little wedding videos over the next year. We're getting married on June the 9th, 2018. We've booked our church and our venue. It's actually the day my dad died, so I thought it was quite a nice date to do it on, to make the day a little bit more positive. And yeah, the planning is slowly getting there, and if you watch my vlogs you would know that I have just bought my dress. Oh, so exciting! I cannot wait for you all to see it. It is literally a showstopper. Like, it's actually the most ridiculous dress ever. So yeah, so I'm really excited for you guys to see. So I thought I would talk to you about wedding dress shopping as my first wedding video, because the dress is done and it was a little bit stressful at times. And yeah, I just wanted to talk to you about my experience and kind of offer advice and tips and just talk to you about the whole process that I went through. So the first part was research. So I spent time on Pinterest and Instagram, literally kind of typing in hashtag wedding dress, hashtag blue wedding dress. Like, I kind of searched mermaid dress, loads of different searches, just because I wasn't really sure on what I wanted at first. I kind of had a picture in my mind that I thought, did I want a blue dress? Did I want a fishtail? I didn't know what would suit my shape because I'd never tried one on before. So yeah, so I did a lot of research and I pinned loads and loads of images, which was actually really helpful, because if you pin, I probably pinned maybe 20 to 30 dresses, and then eventually after pinning I realised what sort of style I actually liked. There was a couple of different styles. I really liked a ball gown shape. So that was one thing I pinned. I also kept pinning Hayley Page dresses, so I really liked those. So I kind of got the gist of what I kind of in my head I wanted. So yeah, and then I started researching designers. So obviously Hayley Page was one that I really liked. Lazaro was another one I really liked. Another one I liked was, oh, what was her name? Ottilia Brattle something. I'm going to pop links below to my favourite designers, so I'll look below if you want to know the real name. It's Attilio Bratilavia or something like that. So yeah, so I found a couple of my favourite designers and pinned lots of their dresses, and then I also tried to find cheaper versions and similar versions, because obviously the designer ones are very expensive. So if you're on a tight budget, there are a lot of options out there that are very similar to designers and kind of copycat versions. But yeah, so the first part of wedding dress shopping was pretty much done with the research, and then the next part I actually went to town and I walked past a dress shop, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to go in and I might just try on a few because I've never tried them on before. And in my head I thought, I really want a ball gown, a giant princess dress, but did I actually want that when I tried it on? So I went in and I tried on every single style. I tried on really slinky dress, I tried on like a boho dress, I tried on a fully sequin dress, I tried on a ball gown, I tried on a fishtail, and yeah, weirdly I ended up liking the fishtail. I was really shocked. I personally didn't think it would suit my figure, but it kind of did. It pulled me in everywhere that I'm not really that confident on. And yeah, I thought it was really quite flattering on me and I really liked it, and I was really surprised. So I didn't actually manage to take any pictures there, which was good. So I kind of left being a bit like, oh, maybe I want a fishtail now. And so my mind was a bit like kind of messed up, because I pinned about 30 ball gown dresses and then now my mind had been changed. So I was a bit like, okay. So I went back, had a bit more of a research, pinned a couple of fishtail ones, and then I thought, you know what, I need to just go and try them on, because in the shop as well they said that dresses can take up to about 5 months to order. So I thought, well, I better get a move on, because I wasn't sure whether I wanted a white dress, an ivory dress, a blue dress, and obviously I kind of needed to decide on my dress first, because then that would determine the colour scheme and the invites and blah 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 blah. So then I moved on to actual wedding dress shopping and trying to find the shops. So again, I did a little research on this. I looked at ones that were local to me, and when you go onto the wedding dress websites, they will have a list of all of the designers that they have in their store, and they also have pictures of all of the styles. It's very hard to see the photo and kind of picture yourself trying the dress on, and also the dress looks completely different on the model than it does on you, because you've pretty much got a normal figure and the models have model figures. So it's very hard, because I remember when I tried on this fishtail dress, when I went and looked at the image online, the dress looked completely different on the girl than it did on me. It looked, I don't want to be horrible, but it looked a bit tacky on her, but on me I don't personally think it looked tacky. So yeah, it is hard to try and get a picture, but it's good to go on the websites of the shops and just see what styles they've got, because it's not worth going into a shop if there's no dresses that you're going to like, or you don't think you're going to like. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to go to London, because a lot of the designers that I pinned had dresses in London shops. So I thought, right, how many dress shops can I go to in a day? 3. So I went to Wedding Atelier, Le Trousseau, I think that's how I pronounce it, and Mirror Mirror London. So I chose those 3 pretty much because they had designers in there that I really wanted to try on, and their price ranges were within my budget, which was good. Obviously you need to determine a budget when you go and try on dresses, because you don't want to try on a dress that's like £10,000 and fall in love with it, because you might not be able to afford it. So it's always good to stick to a budget. So yeah, so once I picked my wedding dress shops, I phoned them up and emailed them, and I booked in a slot, and I managed to get 3 appointments on the same day, and I spread them out. So I had one in the morning, one just after lunch, and then one before I went home. So it was like 5ish, the last one. Also, you only get about an hour to try on dresses, which doesn't actually sound like a lot of time, but you can try on about 4 or 5 dresses in that time. To be honest, that's probably enough. You don't want to spend too long in them, because you'll try on every single dress and you'll just get completely confused. So I picked my shops, and it was a case of going along and actually trying on dresses. So a few things when you try on dresses: if you can, try and take a photo. Some of the places probably won't let you. Maybe ask, or just be sneaky about it. Maybe when they walk off or something, try and take a sneaky photo, because you kind of want to remember what you look like in the dress. If you've got 3 dresses to pick from, and you've probably forgotten what they look like when you tried it on, because you're going to try on probably 10 dresses, maybe a few more. So it does get confusing. You're trying to picture yourself in the dress, trying to picture your figure, how you felt. It's very hard. So try and take a photo if you can, or a little video or something. Another thing as well is you're only allowed about 2 or 3 people along with you, sometimes 2. I took my mum and my sister. So that's another thing to think about, who you're going to take along with you. You don't want to take someone along that you don't think you're going to be comfortable standing in front of them wearing the dress. Maybe they might be quite opinionated. So try and think about that. Yeah, because I mean, I know I've got a different taste to my mum and my sister. So some of the dresses I tried on they didn't really like, but I actually liked. I wasn't too bothered, because I wanted to please myself, and at the end of the day I'm going to be wearing the dress. But if you're easily influenced, maybe try not to take those people, just because it is your decision and it's your dress and you want it to be perfect. Some of the dresses won't fit properly, so make sure you try and ask the fitter to fit it properly. If they've got any pins or like those crocodile clips, if you want it pinned more, just ask them, because it's so hard to picture yourself in a dress that doesn't fit you. A lot of the ones I tried on, some of them were either too tight or too big. Can't remember the sample sizes, but some of them changed in each shop. So yeah, it is quite hard to try and imagine yourself when it's too big, because sometimes it like didn't fit on my boobs and gave me bigger boobs because it had like fitted pads. So yeah, it's really hard, but you just got to try and picture yourself in the dress. Another tip as well is I only ever felt like a bride when I put a veil on. So if they've got a veil and any accessories, any shoes or anything, you can bring your own shoes. I did that if you've got like a specific height you want, or you know what shoes you want to wear. But yeah, definitely try on a veil. What I loved about Mirror Mirror London was that they actually gave me a bouquet to hold, which was quite cool, because then you can kind of get the whole feel of what you look like and what it would be like on the day. And I feel like you don't really know if you like the dress until you've got all of the accessories on. So yeah, so good tip there to try and remember to put all the accessories on. Another thing as well is ask about alterations, because you might love the style of the dress, but you might, I don't know, you might not be too keen on the sleeves. Most things can be changed. I know that when I tried on most of my dresses, I actually added on a little diamante belt, because for me that really finished it off. So ask to try on belts, ask to maybe if you can alter the top of the dress. I know Mirror Mirror London do all their alterations in-house, and they can actually pretty much take a skirt of a dress and put it with a different top of a dress. So you can pretty much make your own dress from that store, because they've got really good connections with each of the designers, and they can just buy like the skirt of a dress instead of the whole dress. So that was a good thing about that shop. A lot of the other shops, you could get more embellishment added on. You could maybe, if you didn't like, because one of the dresses I tried on was quite like a mesh top, if you didn't like the whole mesh thing, you can get another layer put underneath. So there's lots of different things you can do with the dresses. So just make sure you ask questions, because it might be like one little thing that's putting you off the dress, but actually could be taken away, or something else could be added. So yeah, you can pretty much make the dresses your own. So when it comes to picking your dress, there's a few things to know. Your dress might take about 5 months plus. Mine's going to take about 6 to 10 months to make. So if you think about that time frame, you've got to be quite prepared and get your dress in advance. They always get a dress size bigger than what you are, because then obviously you're going to get it altered when the dress comes in. You'll always have fittings, so make sure you make time for them as well. So I've got my dress a year in advance, which is good really, because I might not actually get my dress till January 2018, and then I've got to have fittings. So I know that they got the dress for me in a size 10, and because I wasn't sure about shoes, they've got the dress 6 inches longer than my height. So again, the dress will need to be taken up, it will need to be taken in, and also I've got quite a short body frame up the top here, so I know that the straps are probably going to need to be shortened. So they need a lot of time for alterations, because obviously you need to go in and try the dress when it comes in, then they need to do the alterations, then you need to try it on again. Now you might have another alteration after that, so if you can probably see the time frame here is quite long. So make sure, if you want a dress that is going to be your dream dress, I would personally go early and get it sorted. And yeah, I mean, the fittings, they said that they probably wouldn't do until about a month or 2 before my actual wedding. So even though my dress will come in January, I might not actually try it on until April, May. But it's good because you've got the dress that you want. Also, alterations cost, so make sure you budget that into your wedding budget and your wedding plan. I think they said for me, because I'm not going to actually alter the dress, I'm literally just probably getting it made to fit me and the length taken up. They said it will probably cost around £300, but obviously the price changes depending on where you get it done, and maybe you might know somebody. So yeah, it's just always good to know that you're going to have to pay for alterations. The more alterations that you do, then the higher the cost. When it comes to paying for the dress, I actually paid up front for mine because it meant that I got money off, which was good. So it's saving money in the long run, but usually people buy dresses that pay a deposit and then you pay for the dress. I think it's either when it arrives, you know, 5 to 10 months later, or after all the alterations, I'm not sure, but you pay a deposit first and then you have time to save. So that's always good if you're trying to budget. and you're saving, you know, along the year, then that's also a great thing to do, just to pay the deposit. But if you can pay it up front, then you can save money. So whatever way works best for you. So that's pretty much it for this video, but I've got a few extra little tips for you. Don't try on too many dresses, because it will literally just be a massive blur in your head. You'll forget what you feel like in them, you'll forget what you look like in them. That's why I said take photos. But when you try on a dress, you'll get a feeling, you'll just know. It's weird, a lot of people always say that, but it is true. You'll know if you don't like one, for sure, because I put them on, I was like, no, it's not me, and I took it off straight away, because I thought there's no point in me standing in this dress when I instantly don't like it in the mirror. So yeah, you've got to make sure you feel comfortable in it and it's you. Another thing to think about as well is, like, what type of wedding are you having? If you're having sort of a festively kind of wedding, then you're going to be in a field. Like, do you want a massive dress, or do you want something a bit more slinking, a bit more comfortable and wearable? Are you getting married in winter? Do you want sleeves to give you a bit of warmth? Are you getting married in summer? Do you want a loose fitting dress? You know, all these different things to think about. But it's good to think about them, because you don't want to be too hot or too cold, and you don't want to be uncomfortable if you're wearing your dress all day. Another thing as well, if you're getting married this summer and you're watching this video and you think, oh my god, I've left it so last minute, don't worry. There's a shop called Wed to Be where you can get dresses off the peg. They're actually really nice. I was very surprised, and they're so cheap. So they're from about 150 to 600 pounds. I actually went in there. If you watched my recent vlog, you would have seen that I actually bought one of those dresses off the peg, which is weird because I bought it a year in advance. But I bought it just because I really liked it, and I thought, if I don't find another dress, this dress will go. That's the only thing about off the peg, is that you have to get it there and then, because someone else might come through 5 minutes later, try it on and buy it, and then it's gone. You never know when the shops are going to get the stars back in, the size back in. So yeah, you have to get it there and then, which is why I did. But the great thing about it is that you can get a refund up to 2 weeks after your purchase. So I just got a refund on it, which was great. Another tip as well is, you've taken your pictures of all your dresses, you've picked your dress, delete the pictures. You don't want to compare yourself and criticize yourself in the dress that you've picked. You don't want to compare it to any other dresses that you tried on, in case you're, I don't know, having doubts. So just delete all of the pictures off of your phone, completely get rid of them, and just forget about it, and just wait for your dream dress to arrive. And yeah, that is pretty much my wedding dress video with tips and my experience. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna do more wedding videos. If there's anything you want to know, pop your comments below, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'm not going to show you my dress if that's what you're thinking. I want to keep it a surprise for the day, purely because it's a ridiculous dress and I need to have that wow. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Peace out.